in the bottom right spawning location. I have so much energy for somebody who's sick. We have our... Wow, my voice.
That was so badly.
Our yellow Zerg player playing for Alien Invasion. It is none other than HaNfy. And in the top left spawn location, playing for ATN, he's playing as the Red Protoss player, and he is, I would say, the favorite to take this, but prone to an upset. It is Socke.
So, how did these two get here? Into the decider match of Group A. Let me take you on a lovely journey, story time, of what occurred.
Oh, I can eat, sick.
Awesome. Okay, so, it all started tonight with Socke going up against Salt the Wound. Socke, he was magnificent. He 2-0'd it and advanced forward into the winner's game. HaNfy, then, in the second series of the night, took on the incredible Hero Marine, where unfortunately he fell 2-1, taking him down into the loser's game. Socke went up against Hero Marine then in the winners series and was defeated, allowing Hero Marine to finish top of the group, whereas Socke ended up here. HaNfy, he had another series in his way though. He had to play up against the Zerg Salt the Wound, who previously lost to Socke 2-0, where he beat Salt the Wound 2-0. So now we are here in this final series, the decider for the second place of the group, the top two advance forward to the playoffs of this €10,000 tournament. And Penguin, they are probably fairly focused.
I would assume that they are focused, Madals. That's a very good analysis right there. No, I liked your story time. It actually gave me a little bit of a picture of what happened because I wasn't here the whole time.
I could have gone into more detail, but it would have been dull.
Okay, how many drones were made in game 2 of the second series?
64 and a quarter. One died as a cocoon.
That's really sad.
I know, it's horrible. They just came in. No, I have no idea. I'm sorry.
Well,
how many
guys,
drones were made in Mana versus Firecake?
Over probably like 60.
Yeah, probably not that many. Anyway, beside the point, this game, what we've got going on, it was a hatch first opening into a spawning pool. All pretty normal stuff. Meanwhile, this Overlord here has got all the scouting information required to know there's a Forge Fast expansion, and that means the third base should be on its way down roughly in the next minute.
That is gonna happen? No, maybe not. You know, okay, it is gonna happen. But you know, with HaNfy, you never really can tell. I'm just gonna make a pledge now to never predict throughout the series what HaNfy's doing, because there's a pretty high chance it'll just be wrong. This guy has played some of the strangest things ever, all the time, against anyone. Like, if you don't know HaNfy's playstyle, that's because he doesn't really have a playstyle. He just does stuff and it works.
He's like the impulsive kid in class.
Yes. Yes, that.
That must be a really fun way to play StarCraft, actually, the way HaNfy does. Just doing stuff and it working.
Yeah, well, it also makes him really fun to cast, though, because I get to be surprised as well.
I like unusual plays, it's always good, but what is unusual is what Socke is doing at the moment. He's playing pretty much the most standard of standard stuff.
And you know what's really unusual about HaNfy's play?
What?
The fact that it's also completely standard stuff.
After we've made such a big point about... Well, actually, I'm going to throw you under the truck here. After you made such a point about saying how he plays weird, he's now doing everything standard.
He could still mass Vipers.
He could. What was the quote? It was the best thing a cheesing player can do is not cheese.
Yeah. That is a quote.
I've forgotten who by.
It was either Artosis or Jinro, because I remember those are the two guys who had quotes on the floor of the ESL studio.
Yeah, that's what I'm remembering from as well. So anyway, we both remember the same things. This is cute. It's the start of a beautiful bromance. But anyway, yes. Stargate coming down. The Overlord unfortunately has seen it. Is going to see what comes out of it as well. And it's going to be a Phoenix.
Yeah, basically the Stargate will 90% of the time versus Zerg be a Phoenix anyway. I'm not quite sure if that stat's accurate since the Oracle buff, but I would assume the Oracles are not all that much better versus Zerg than they were before. And basically what this says to HaNfy if he wants to play standard is, cool, I can literally make nothing but drones for the next, until the 8-minute mark, because the only thing these Phoenixes can do is lift up some drones if the Queens are positioned well. All they can do is lift up some drones and kill some drones. And you know what HaNfy can do as a Zerg player? make more drones than the Phoenixes can kill.
It's an effective strategy. It's kind of a bit sad to the drones to die, but overall the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few, and the drones will be good. Spore Crawlers are coming down too, so less will die. HaNfy is a merciful overlord, or overmind, and therefore less drones dying. Always good times, but overlords are unfortunately dying, and that is a bit annoying.
Yeah, overlords are very, very cute and cuddly. They're kind of like flying pillows with tentacles. So it makes me a little sad when they die, but we may... Okay, this is actually kind of cool. We have a Colossus Den, or a Robo-Bay, coming down here for Socke, as well as 3 more gateways. +1 starting pretty late for our Protoss player. I'm not quite sure what he's doing, but we have 1 Immortal on the way out. Presumably it'll be followed up by a Colossus, but I mean, I guess in some warp worlds he could go for a Warp Prism and get Warp Prism speed, even though it does almost nothing now. I don't know, this is going to be kind of cool to see. But we do have a Queen being poked away at that Phoenix.
Just survives. 6 HP. Such
not
a good
worth
job.
it. I will point that out, not worth it. He wasted a lot of energy on not killing a Queen, and now a lot of health on those Phoenixes is gone.
2 nearly dead, actually. That is a significant amount of health, but there's more on the way.
Skills.
Generally speaking, you want to wait until you have at least 4 Phoenix to engage a Queen.
Yeah, 4 Phoenixes is the magic number to be able to kill the Queen in 1 lift. That's a really cool Spore Crawler positioning, though, and now we have 2 Spores in the main, or in the natural and the third. None in the main, which is a little bit weird to me, and this Queen's gonna die as a result, most likely. I wouldn't be too surprised to see HaNfy put down 2 in the main. 2 in each mineral line is usually enough to ward off... Oh, is it good? Okay, no, the Queen does die. But 2 in each mineral line is usually enough to ward off the Phoenixes so that there's no real area where they can grab dudes. Is that... Wait, is he moving a hive already?
He is moving to hive already. And it's been scouted. So this is an exceptionally early hive, which has thrown me off a bit because there's also +1 missile attack coming down.
Alright, no, this is going to be a Rotider Viper timing. This is actually not all that weird. I haven't played StarCraft in like a week, guys, because I've been at Home Story and been in like Germany picking up Jakji and Stardust from airports and stuff, so you'll have to forgive me. But this is not all that weird. It's not something we see on this map as much as maps like Derelict Watcher. You know what it's going to be kind of good against? Actually, no, not this, because this is going to hit before Vipers, and HaNfy might just die if he doesn't have a good defense setup.
Well, he is pumping out a lot of units at the moment. That's really the main thing that he can do to try and defend this, is just get as much stuff as possible. The hive, still 25 seconds away from completion. Bear in mind, he lost the Queen as well, so his injects are a little bit hampered for the moment, and he can really do with those lava just to be able to spend all of this money as fast as he can. Spore Crawlers moving. Stalkers on their way in, and the Colossus about to try and burn stuff. There's no extended thermal lance though.
Well, we have a counterattack coming down here for HaNfy. Looks like he's just going to go all-out base trade mode. He knows he can't hold this. And this is a very strong all-in from Socke, but the counterattack, I don't really see this doing the damage it needs to. He can just kill off the third and recall, and I wouldn't be too surprised if that's what he does decide to do. And HaNfy, he's trying to do the damage he needs to. He's moving on into the third, but now, or into the natural rather, but there's no recall coming down. Socke just wants to end it here and now, and he's moving straight towards the natural.
Well, meanwhile, at the natural base of Socke, we can see roaches, lings are trying to tear apart everything, but they're just not as efficient at destruction as this Protoss force is at the moment. Viper's about to pop out, but there just isn't the units on the ground to actually kill those Colossi, even if they're abducted precisely where HaNfy wants them.
Well, the natural base has gone down. Remember, if HaNfy delays himself long enough, or if HaNfy delays Socke long enough that he can kill off the Nexuses, there's not going to be any recall here, and HaNfy actually still has a pretty big supply. The roaches in the main actually do pick off one of the Colossi. Nice abduct there. The other one very, very low on hit points. If they can get into a good position, perhaps the roaches can do something about that. HaNfy actually looks like he may take this Madals. This is looking very weird, but the drone's coming out to surround. Down goes the Colossus. What is happening?
This is crazy. The drones, I think, actually killed a Colossus there. Meanwhile, at Socke's base, he's been depowered. Most of his production facilities, only 3 gates remain, but he doesn't have really any gas to do anything. The roaches and drones are taking out the Stalker Sentry forces. The drones dancing. HaNfy already showed his dancing skills against Hero Marine. Unfortunately, that series didn't work out for him.
Well, this looks like he's actually got it this time around. Socke down to under 20 supply, and in a position where I thought HaNfy couldn't do much of anything. He has controlled his army, his defensive army, perfectly while just attacking with a perfect amount of units, and brilliant play out of our third player as he will take game 1.
Okay, so this is where things have got crazy. Socke probably not going to be too happy. GG's called, and HaNfy is 1-0 up in this best of 3 series. Game number 2 going to be coming up.